Today's video is going to be about you're meant to suffer, or why you like to suffer. Everybody's doing different things, likes different things. Who, what, when, where, why. What do you like? That's the way you should set your life and manifest. We're meant to suffer. Once you create a desire, or there's opportunistic force from the outside, externally, which happens all the time, these things affect you. And when you want to go after something, it could be a goal that's far-fetched, and you might have to go out of your way. They're all not far-fetched, and you might be let down by someone else, dependability, liability, who it is, trust. And these are just words of advice to help you. And everything I say, I sprinkle things to adjust your life, because that's all I'm here for. And exactly why I'm doing this. I'm thankful for the phone, the system, the matrix, society. You can't escape it. And if you can, or what would you do? Is it unfortunate or fortunate? Well, it just ultimately depends on how you're going to look at it. And if you do want to escape, go off grid, get away from people as far as you can, then do it. There's nothing wrong with that, and if that's what you really want to do, that can be highly beneficial to yourself. We're meant to suffer to see the side of pleasure. And a lot of things, we create these distances, because it's the way there that even makes it worthwhile, and it always will be. Notice the funnest times in your life. Really quiet today. It's also a lot around distractions and noises. Notice how nature's so peaceful. You know, again, you can set yourself up for failure. And there's gonna be obstacles. But as I was saying, the funnest things in life, the most joy, we need to take money out of the picture. But the most fun you ever had in your life, and I'm just saying for my example, and I'm gonna state that in a second, was when you do nothing, or there wasn't a goal in mind. It was just it didn't cost nothing, as in money, which money doesn't really cost nothing anyway. It's just like an object or a median or a middleman to get you somewhere else or to achieve something. But that's not life. The funnest times, you know what I mean? Money, if you look past money, it's experience and things that you attain and from enlightenment and existence and experiencing in itself. So I can only bring this more into existence and feel by the example I'm about to provide. The funnest times of my life, and I'm not saying that right now it's fun, every moment's fun, but I went through some things, and people go through some things, different things, and whether it's good or bad or whatever it is. And ultimately, it's always going to be for the better, and it's always going to be a step forward. You're always moving forward. You don't want to be stagnant. Energy always goes. So tune into your energy. See what kind of energy you provide. The world's given to you. What energy do you want to give off? So the funnest times of my life, and it's super simple, and they always were like this. They're not some extravagant or extravaganza of like being at a bachelor party or a huge luxury pad and there was some wild party going on. And hey, I'm sure like those are fun too, and I don't think I've ever really been the one that big. But there's probably plenty of people who have, and that may be the glimpse of their life. And there's nothing wrong with that, take it as it is. Point of the story is all things die. And that was a lesson that I had to go through, and then I seen into existence that all laughter, love, fun, life dies. But like I said, energy isn't stagnant, it keeps going. That's why you don't want to be stagnant or stale or sit in one spot for a long time. You are essence being. And why I'm even saying this or going forth with this is because you rebirth, you do live again. Energy never dies. It can remain still, but it will keep going. It has to. It's the force. A life force keeps going. Nature has leaves. The season, I could turn the camera around, but because there's seasons around, and we have these seasons, and you become more developed as you live longer and as you become more aware. You don't have to be an older person, but it's from experiences that we build on. Life and the trees, the tree doesn't die, and even if it does, it's feeding back into the soil. It's giving back, it gives oxygen, it gives life, it gives shade, it gives comfort to animals, shelter, food, and a whole array of other things. So there's just this whole cycle when it never dies. Energy doesn't. And you can still go back to places that will hit that energy level again. You'll smell something, it brings you back. Going to a certain area or seeing something maybe from your childhood, it rings a bell. And whether you want to take aware of that or not, or some people might be more prone to this. It's about to get dark a little bit in this tunnel. And as you can see, these are just experiences that are through the sensory organs, and it may not have to do with anything right now, like what you're currently working on or going through in life or just sitting still. You can recognize them, but don't let that control you. The same thing with the emotions. Though that's not the basis of this talk. It's more about suffering. An example I was going to say, I got to put my head in the light. The example I was going to say about the funnest time in my life, and it's not to say I didn't have other fun times or anything like that, or that I'm not still having fun. But, one a highlight of my life, we'll put that into consideration, was when I was with some people on the weekends. It might have been like high school, and we didn't have no plans other than to meet up. There's 2 guys, 2 girls, and we weren't having sex, we weren't making out. Though, I didn't even have tendencies to do that. And it's not because I'd never had sex before, and it's not because I wanted to kiss these girls or anything. It wasn't nothing like that. I'm not saying, and I'm not making it, plagiarizing it as seeing like it's something I didn't want to do either, but it wasn't the first thing on my mind. It was just about having fun at that moment, I guess, chasing it, because that's mere life, because like I said, it all ends eventually. But that's not to be negative or pessimistic about that, because I can put down some people especially sensitive people, and maybe people who are down at the moment or depressed. But we would meet up on the weekends after school, and we'd stay over this one girl's house, and we'd smoke a little bit of weed. And you know, we didn't really have any goals. We might have made some there, might have played some games, and we might have drunk a little bit. Now, I'm not recommending any one of those, but you can if you want. You get to live your life how you want to do it, whatever it is. Maybe you need to cut back on the drinking. Maybe you need to smoke a little more. Maybe you ain't smoking enough. Maybe you don't need to do either. Maybe you need to stop. Or maybe you've never done any before and you're interested in trying on it. And we would just laugh like all the time. Like we were just having fun, and we really weren't doing anything. We weren't going to an amusement park, going to the movies. You know, we were just doing stuff right there, having fun with each other. And that was just like the essence of being, just having fun and laughing. You know, some people say don't do drugs, don't. Yeah, it's all about how you want to take your life and what you want to do. And it's all about experience. And there's fine, you know, there's some people who don't need to do drugs, and there's some people who need to lay off them, and there's some people who need to do a little bit less. I'm just encouraging you to feel for yourself. Don't listen to what other people say. Just because 100 people say, you know, smoking weed's bad, but when you smoke weed, you feel amazing, and let's say your productivity increases, you're more open to people, and you just owe around it's how something makes you feel, regardless of what someone says or does. And I'll be making a video about marijuana specifically, and coming up might be my next video, but I want to capture this first. You know, and being in control is something you need to manifest too. Discipline is one thing. There's nothing wrong with discipline, but I've had a lot of discipline in my life. Most of it was. So discipline's not, there's always room for improvement, increases, sure, but how far do you want to go, and when are you going to lay off and maybe enjoy something, all depending on what the context is. Now, when you're in control, you can, this is another example I could go over real quick. You know, people say don't drink and drive. See, while I'm not encouraging drinking and driving, the problem is you can't handle the liquor that you drink or the alcohol that you drink. And I'm not promoting drinking at all. I don't really think drinking is positive in any way. If it's every once in a while, whatever. I understand so many people do it. Some people don't feel like affected from it at all. And my experience with drinking, you know, I just didn't like how it made me feel. And that's it, you know. If it makes you feel good, fuck it. And I understand there's a lot of propaganda, a lot of people, you know, throwing it out in the world, appropriating it, if that's what I was aiming for. Anyways, propagating it, sorry, misunderstanding. And, you know, I realized, like, hey, this is not the time and the place for it. Simple as that. And I wasn't necessarily looking forward to it. And maybe it was some purpose before, but that's not the key and the essence of life. But it could be for someone, which there's nothing wrong with either. It depends on what you value. And you need to take in consideration of that awareness too. What you value. Where are you focusing? Where are you putting your sets of attentions in awareness? And again, focus, wherever it is. It's in this camera, so obviously my energy is here. This phone's, it's either gonna build me up, or it's gonna take me down, or it's gonna be neutral. It's definitely not gonna take me down because I'm doing something I wanna do. Obviously, it's gonna take some forth of energy, but giving, I'm also gonna be receiving, whether no one watches this. Well, obviously, you know, hopefully someone will watch it. Maybe a bunch of people watch it, and this will be a catalyst to, you know, making another video and make me feel good through the rest of the day, or make someone else feel good, make them aware, and they make a video. Just a whole bunch of things. I could go on with that. the algorithm forever. And yeah, there's a bunch of things I was talking about, but back to the story. We were just having fun all the time, and we were just in the essence of being. And that's what you need to focus on and look forward to, because the moment is there, the journey is right there. Some people don't realize that to get to the top of a mountain or a travel destination, you have to travel to get there, and there's a luxury in the experience that they're doing. The hardship gets to the pleasure, not because necessarily you have to go through a hardship. It's only a hardship because you call it, or maybe have to do it for some critical reason, whether it was meant to be or not. You know, you're doing it now, so you might as well bring forth the most energy, be fully there, be healthy, aware, and be there in the moment. And that is kind of cliche too, being there in the moment, but just being aware, recognizing what's going on, see how people feel, how are they resonating, what's that energy like in that area, is it high or is it low? Where do you want to be? Do you see yourself here in the future? Where do you want to be? Is this getting you to wherever you want to be? Is this the right situation for you? We're meant to suffer, and those experiences I was talking about with even the drinking ones, but with smoking with those friends and stuff, and I don't really talk to them anymore, and that's perfectly fine. But you know, they're still in my bag of experiences, and I don't know necessarily what I've learned from them, but it was just a fun time. And I was just saying it, moreover, that I was just doing it, or just because, you know, all things come to an end, but it's how you want to build. And though the context of the video is not everything comes to an end, it's just things are you're meant to suffer, and you need to realize that. And it's okay that, you know, you feel how you feel, and these, whether it's sorrow, sadness, anger, you just need to take into recognition of these. And like I said, yeah, that thing, and you can never replay. Even though we did hang out on the weekends, we might even did the same thing, but we weren't aiming to replay the last weekend, and it would never be like that anyway, because the cosmos and the energy and how things work, they don't happen exactly the same. And no, it was never the same. It's always different. And we weren't aiming to make it same, but some people do. They like something, they want it to happen again, and it might happen very similar, maybe even exact, maybe even a deja vu experience. And hey, I mean, do you want that to happen in your life? Or are you recognizing that's happening into your life? Or are you following a habit that you like, or is it kind of annoying you and agitating you and irritating you? Be aware of the routine, because you know, we're animals, and we're habitual, and we'll do these things in a ritual like. So how are you going to take it upon yourself? And again, on these creatures of habit, we keep wanting to do these things. And are they the things that you want to do? Do they energize you, or are they taking away? And maybe you want some stuff to take you away. It just, and there's a time and place for everything. You know, we're meant to suffer, but it's you to declare if you're suffering or we're thriving. Is this the example to set for you? Is this motivation behind a feel? Is this going to lead you, perpetuate you into another existence, a life that you never even thought about? Because life is never really what we think about. Even if we think, oh yeah, once we get this mansion, life's going to be like this. Hey, if we want to go and try to reach that, and that's our goal, and it happens, so be it. But usually when we think things out, we're thinking in the foreplay or post-play, and that's never how it is when it goes in reality. And that's not to say it's a bad thing, because it's usually way better, and we can never think about it because we can never experience. We usually think about things that feels time me out. Nah. We usually only think about things that have already happened, and we run them on replay in our mind all the time. How many times are you gonna listen to the same song until you're sick of hearing it? Maybe you never get bored of it. Maybe the person next to you does, because you're playing it all the time. I know I like Nirvana, but to be honest with you, I may have not even heard all their songs, and I'm not even that type of person to go do that sometimes, but just not with them categorically. And to be honest, I don't want to hear Nirvana anymore. I've heard their songs a million times. And it's not to say there might be a moment in time where I don't mind hearing their song, but I've heard their songs too many times, and it's the same songs. Most songs are. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Just be who you want to be. You know, suffering means something in our life is gonna change or needs to change. You just need to take into recognition, be aware of what's going on, maybe in your household, the energy around you, the environment, how it smells, what it's teaching you, what you want to learn, where you want to go, who you want to be. And there is no answer, and I can't answer for you, because you are the answer. You have all the answers to everything you ever wanted. You can be taught and teach things and learn things, but you already have the essence of being, stillness. And once you activate that, you'll get into that rhythm of life. Oh man, I knew it was gonna get hot, but I didn't want to carry my water bottle. And that's just that. We're meant to suffer. Most people don't know that they're causing their own suffering, which is always the case. But what is it that's making you suffer? You gotta identify it. And this is a great start. Identify your sufferingness. If you are suffering, where is this driving you? Sometimes this drives so many people to go do magnificent things, you know? You hear about the dude being bullied. Now he's a mixed martial artist, top of the class, top MMA fighter. A guy that was a geek in school, he got the hottest girlfriend, and the girlfriend that you always wanted, or someone else, or a bunch of people wanted, maybe back in high school, whatever. Now the geek has it, and he's working out, and he got a bunch of money, and he got a nice pad. Wow. And he's got everything that you wanted. But he was being bullied, and this set him off for being a geek and nerdy. Now he's smart. Now he don't need electronics. He's more manlier than you. Yeah. You know, some things catapult people and going into whole different directions. So where's your situation that you're suffering from? Where is this taking you? Where is this gonna catapult you? Where are you gonna take this energy? This energy is trying to bring you down. You're a sorcerer. You know, you're an energy divider. Where are you gonna redirect this energy? You know, this low energy that was coming on him, beating him up, the bully, it was bullying the geek, being weak and suffering. You know, he had to rise above it. It wasn't a banana that made him rise above it. It wasn't a TV show. Maybe it wasn't this video, for instance. Someone telling him some advice. That may have all helped, but inducively, seclusively, and conclusively, it was all him. Sorry for the bunch of rhymes. But it was up to him. It was the mentality. And that can get you pretty far, you know. Just have your life organized, or in control, a little bit of discipline. Make sure your health is there. You know, people don't care about their health at all until they don't care nothing at all. And some people, you know, unfortunately it comes in subtle terms, and there's some people who strive for health all day, but those are the sickest people. And there's nothing wrong with that, because there's a reason they were going that path and they keep doing that path, and God bless them. You know, and some people have real unfortunate things. But the thing is, are you going to let it take you down, or are you going to rise above it? And sometimes it gets so hard. And we know about that. We definitely know about that, and the suffering. But are you going to, here's a great example. You know, there's love and fear. Which one do you want? No one wants fear. Do you want to suffer or have pleasure? Which one do you want? Do you want to cause suffering on other people? Or do you want them to be happy or pleasurable? You know, and it's not up to you to make everyone happy. It's up to you to do what your indication of life and what has meaning to you. What can you grip that's metaphysically not there, but you almost want to grip it in reality and physically. You can feel love, but you can't necessarily touch love. You can feel love, but you can't touch it. And that's what I'm saying. What rises you up, lifts you from the dead, the day of the dead. No one really dies. They just go back up and come back down. It might not be in this realm. It might be into a different world, you know, to a whole different place, or, you know, just a whole different life form. Yeah, and life is crazy, but where is it going to take you? And are you following it? Or are you just completely ignoring it? And like I said, the health aspects of people getting thrown off all the time, like these subtle things, and people get real sick. Some people don't pay attention to health at all, and look like they're smoking cigarettes, downing beers, and not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but they're not aware of anything, nor do they care, and they just seem so healthy and pretty vibrant, or, you know, per se. And you're trying all these health things. You're not smoking cigarettes, drinking beer, and this person's way healthier than you, and he's not even exercising or eating healthy, or even has healthy habits. And he just seems to be fine all the time, you know. And maybe ask him what goes on in this world. Investigate, see how he's plowing through the world, how he works, you know, or use that as motivation. Everyone's not going to be the same. And, you know, the person who cares about the health usually has to suffer the most to get there. And there's people who don't care about health, who are already pretty much there or never know they had it. And then maybe they have something down the line, and whoops, now it's their turn. Or they don't have anything at all, you know, who knows? Wow, really nice right here. You know, once you're vibrating inside, nothing can let you down. Your world's around you, and you feel connected and everything, and once you feel empowered and feel your spirituality, it's all right there. It resonates. Your outside world is the same as your inside. And it all comes usually from the inside. When you get angry, everything is angry in the outside. When you're irritated, everything irritates you. Did you ever realize that? When you have anxiety, you know, do you think like everyone else has anxiety, or giving you anxiety? The world's giving it to you because it's just resonating with the body. You are a tree. All the trees around here, you are one. You're a pillar of life, and trees are a center of energy, a beam of light. The trees, you know, are a great resemblance of what we actually are. You know, who cares about looks? My fucked up tooth, my balding head, or whatever. It's, you know, these right here. People, I don't care. People always say I looked older or whatever. I can't. It might be things I could do about it, and that's fine if it's my main care. Some people don't care about longevity or even how they look. I know aesthetics, which is apparently how you look, and the ego or their appearance through picture, social media, post, and just image altogether, you know, and a lot of it's even airbrushed and touched up and has effects on it and makes it real. Not even someone's skin looks flawless, but that's not how they look in real life at all, especially with a bunch of makeup. No, this is me. There's no makeup on. I'm being raw and I'm being real. I'm contributing to this. Whether this is my best example of serving you or, you know, whether I'm in my best game or best mode, what's going to lift you up? What's going to be their spirituality? And like I said, like my hair has pretty much always been doing that. These wrinkles, you know, some people say it's aging, and whether it's not or not, I've pretty much always had these since I was 5. No, I haven't, but I laughed a lot and I'm a happy person. When I smile, I seem to get more wrinkles, and when I laugh, I even more so. I don't usually frown, and you know, are you gonna be raw, genuine, and authentic, or are you gonna be lying, deceitful, and going against yourself? We are 70% of water. Water always takes the path of less resistance. It doesn't go uphill, though it can, but I'm just saying it always takes the path that's least resistant. If there was a path uphill that has the least resistance, it would take it. It would go any direction. It'd go right through a building if it was. The Grand Canyon probably used to be water that was carving in there, the least resistant path. Where the creeks and creeks are, the creeks and rivers, and all those nice things. It always on the lowest surface, or the, you know, lowest elevation, and the easiest thing to get by. If there was shit in the way, it knocked it down, or maybe there was nothing, and this is where the stream built, the flow of water went. Yeah, and you may not always give your best game, but it's about the effort and you trying, the mentality. Did you keep pushing? You don't want to overdo it, and you want to know your limit, but you know, rest, take your break, relax, do something different. If you need to take your mind off it, so be it. Go right back in there, keep punching. Yeah, I mean, this video is long enough, and I'm not gonna make it too long, but that's it. You know, who are you gonna want to be? You're gonna tell yourself you're sufferer, or are you gonna let things take you down? Are you gonna redirect that energy? Are you gonna be a sorcerer, an avatar? You know, energy is real. Some people are just never taken into consideration. Some people don't care about it, and that's fine. Some people don't even need to. These are for the people that need it, or like to grasp it a little bit more, research it a little bit more, learn more, or improve their game advice, give them motivation, inspire them, lift their energies. And you know, congregation of people, when you're around other people that have that high energy, whoo, you know, some people can't, it gets too hot in the kitchen, and you know, they can't take it in that kitchen. They gotta leave. But you know, they drop out of that high vibrancy, and maybe they need to take a break, nap, or maybe it's too much for them at their moment in time. But you know, when you're in that congregation and the energy's high, there's energy flying all over the place. You know, you're probably gonna eat less. You're gonna need less in the physical realm, because that energy is gonna be rising up, keep going up, and it's just gonna be motivating and inspiring you. And be like, wow, I feel so good, I don't even know what it is. Or you feel sparks of energy out of nowhere. You didn't eat nothing, no, took in that energy. It's even air, but it's far past air. It's electricity, electromagnetic field, and it's there. And it's rising vibrations, giving off. You know, the heart, even the blood pressure, the heart is our bodies. We're all one. That's what people talk about consciousness. It's all one. That's why, like, when you feel good, your environment feels good with you. You know, other people may be feeling good, maybe you don't feel good, but intuitively, it's how you feel good. The heart is an electric box. Okay, you can classify it as a muscle. Say it has arteries, veins. Say it has this and that. Give you a Greek scientific biology word. scientific name for it, whatever. It's electricity and it's energy. Yes, it does take in energy to require it to run, but it also gives off energy. And it's doing this constantly, you know. And rest is one of those times where you really build up energy. The heart is an electric box. You don't understand about the electricity. Few people do, and they know this. Electric. That's why when the clouds come out, you know, the thunderstorms and the rain, that invigorating, that water, it's invigorating you. That's why a lot of people go after water, and water is a big deal. Certain things, because we're made of it and it's all around us. Again, with electricity, why do you think, you know, people get shocked? They get shocked. You know, that's an electric impulse. Everything, even your blood, electricity runs you. When you think someone's dying, why do you think they get the defibrillator and freaking give you an electric pulse to punch you on? They don't, you know, they don't express this. Everyone misses the whole idea all the time. They always do this. Like, because no one, I think it's almost on purpose. It almost seems like it, because they don't teach you this at school. They teach you like, oh yeah, you probably all know what a defibrillator is, but do you know the true essence of electricity? Do you know that we're made of electricity, that we have a field that we give and go? No, you probably don't. Now you do. But it takes an experience and symptoms to feel this. It's not, I'm just not talking out of my ass. I had to have a journey and I've had that experience, but they don't teach you this at all. And this thing about electricity, the pulse thing, when someone's about to, you know, living or in the ER or in the hospital, you know, this is an electric pulse. It is electricity. You know, about the elements and stuff like that, you probably, I don't know, there's a show called Avatar: The Last Airbender. It used to be cartoon, and there's probably sorcerers and things among this line about energy. There's the fire, there's the earth, there's the metaphysical, the non-sense one, which is sometimes the sixth sense, you know, all consciousness, the divine, which is love, power, electricity. You know, that's the sixth sense, the one you can't see. It's metaphysical. It doesn't have a form, basically. You can give it form. So there's the touch, and then there's feeling, which is the same thing I was just saying. Feeling is different from touch. It is. Because you can feel without touching something. You can feel someone's energy when you're around them. Smell. And these are all energetic forms. We have a sensory system. Seeing, hearing, tasting. Yeah, wow. What an in-depth video. Take some time and watch the whole thing. I'm tuning out. Have a nice one.